What's going on, family? What's going on, family? What's going on, family? Going over history lesson. Check in. Check in. Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings. Check in. Check in. Y'all definitely want to sit down what we about to go over. Trust me, you definitely want to hear what I'm about to drop, all right? I just had a consultation with a brother, and it sparked up some good ass questions. So I'm gonna take y'all down to basically a timeline today, okay? Man, you can definitely pull your phones out. Go ahead and write these dates down. You definitely want to write these dates down. Yeah, go ahead and roll up. Y'all a few minutes. Give y'all a few minutes. Give y'all a few minutes. Give y'all a few minutes. Going over timeline, y'all. We starting off in 1890. Starting off in 1890, but go ahead and roll up. Do what you got to do. Get your notebooks ready. This is not about getting a car. This ain't about getting a house. This is the history. This is the why. Why can you endorse bills? Why are you able to use the bill of exchange? Why is your Social Security a credit card? Why the banks went broke? Who bailed the banks out? We started with the year 1890. Wait for some folks to come in. Y'all make sure y'all tag somebody. Tag a credit repair specialist. We're going to go over when was the first credit score. We're going to go over all that. This is Me University. Tap in. Tap in. Tap in. Me University. Can y'all hear me good? Everybody can hear me? I'm going to use my other phone so y'all can kind of follow along with me, all right? Let me pull it up. First thing first, y'all, the question we starting off with. And make sure if y'all can't hear me, let me know. Probably gotta step in a little bit. Alright, y'all. I wish I could do screen share on this motherfucker. Instagram, y'all gotta get right. Get some screen share going on. Alright, hold on right quick. Let me pull it up. Alright, y'all, cool. Alright, first lesson of the day, y'all. We tapping in, we going strong. This is a timeline of why everything happened. This is a timeline for why everything happened, okay? Why are you doing what you're doing? Why are you learning about consumer law? When did consumer rights come around? Who was the first one to introduce consumer rights? You see what I'm saying? So, y'all, trust me, this live is going down. You feel me? Like, we might be exposing a lot in this live. It might not get to stay up. It is what it is. We're going to have to do a part 2 for sure. Because you already know they're going to give us a time. All right, so first thing first, I want y'all to Google. I ain't got to Google it. This is what I typed in. Can everybody see? What was the first credit bureau? Again, y'all remember, bureau is somebody that's protected. So we just using bureau for the layman's term. For folks understand who we talking about. We're really talking about the credit agencies. What was the first credit bureau? Look at this, y'all. The first credit bureau was Atlanta-based retail credit company RTC, was the first credit bureau founded in 1899 and began collecting data on Americans. They not only collected credit information, but political and social preferences, as well as rumors about people's personal lives, which caused criticism over the years. All right, so a lot of people don't know when the first credit reporting happened. The Equifax was in 1890, so Equifax was before this. So yeah, you're right. Equifax was before this. The same. This is just the first one that popped up. I didn't even scroll yet. I just typed in, hit the first one that came up. So yeah, these are the type of questions y'all want to ask, man. You don't want to just start doing shit just because somebody said do it. Don't even do stuff just because I said do it. You know what I'm saying? So again, the first credit agency was really Equifax in 1890, right? So let me go ahead and write y'all go ahead and write that down, because again, there's gonna be a lot of information, a lot of dates being dropped. I should charge this a class, but you feel me? Yeah, Equifax changed. Yeah, they changed their name. Yeah, they changed their name. Definitely. But regardless if it's Equifax or them, the fact is the first one wasn't around to 1890, right? Right? So bam, watch this. Y'all type in, when was the first credit score? Let's see. So credit scores didn't come around to 1989, y'all. So 1989 is when FICO scores started generating. Okay, so before 1989, what were banks measuring people by? You see what I'm saying? So, because a lot of people trying to fight for a high credit score, this and that. If we didn't have FICO scores before 1989, you feel me? If we didn't have FICO scores, let's just type in, when was the first FICO score? Like, this is Googleable shit, y'all. This all I'm doing is Googling. So I'm just gonna type in, when did FICO start? Oh, my bad. FICO started in 1956. My bad, y'all. The first credit score was in 1956. So they started taking scores in 1956, y'all. 1956. So from 1890, okay, was the first credit agency, all right, all the way until 1956. They didn't start doing scores until 1956. So let me ask y'all something, because you really got to listen to what I'm saying, okay? Because from 1890, they already said they was taking rumors from people's lives, y'all. They was taking rumors. So meaning they was going to neighborhoods, hey man, did Johnson, is he a good person? Do he pay bills back? And if the town didn't like you, they'll be like, hell nah, Pete don't pay us. Pete don't never pay us. Pete still owe me $100 damn. So that bank goes back and like, okay, let me draw that in his account. So Pete comes back and applies like, hey, was y'all gonna give me that loan? Unfortunately, Mr. Pete, we did some investigating and we came to the conclusion that we're not going to be able to approve you of the loan. Because remember, y'all, they did not do credit scores. They didn't do credit scores, right? Beacon scores. Okay, it's called Beacon score. All right, they didn't have. Okay, so this is what y'all ever seen Life? Y'all seen that movie Life? One of my favorite movies. All right, Eddie Murphy and Mark Lawrence. Y'all seen that movie Life? Y'all remember the scene when they was in the car and Eddie Murphy was like, "What can I get for my daddy's watch?" And he was looking at it, and Claude was looking at it and shit. He was like, loan denied. You feel me? He literally it was up to their discretion. Like, nah, I don't want to do it. You got this from your dad? Don't your dad still watch this? Nah, I don't want to do it. He didn't accept it only because Eddie Murphy stole shit. So he thought his dad stole shit. You see, so he was like, nah, I don't like you as a person. I think you did this, so I'm not gonna accept you. So you had people literally going into your town. They will visit your home. Back then, that's how they approved you. They visit your home, seeing how you live. They have like, let me see how you live. Let me go ask the town. Hey, does William pay his bills back? And if you owe Mr. Henry $100, you wouldn't be able to get no loan until you paid Mr. Henry his $100. You know what I'm saying? So you feel me? So yes, you're older than the FICO score. No, whoa. If you was born before 56, yes, you're older than the FICO score. All right, let's keep going. Timeline. Remember, 1890. Where's my lighter? 1890 was the first credit agency. All right, and in 1956 was the first credit score. All right, so keep in mind, we still starting with 1890. 1890. We still starting on 1890. For y'all just coming in, you just gonna have to see the what's the name. We're gonna try to get this as quick as possible. All right, so bam, 1890. Have you guys ever heard of the Federal Reserve System? Right. Do you know your Federal Reserve note comes from the Federal Reserve System? Right. All right, so when did the Federal Reserve System come around? That should be your next question, guys. That should be your next question. Let's type it in. Let's go to Google. Because all this shit is Googleable. People swear I'm scamming them. People swear this stuff don't work. But let's Google it. When was the Federal Reserve created? Okay. It says... Hold on. Matter of fact, let me type in this, y'all. Let me type in this. I'm gonna give you a better question. Let me give you a better question. Do any of y'all know the significance of Jackal Island? Jackal Island. Let me just type in Jackal Island. I'm not even gonna tell you what happened on Jackal Island. Some people may understand, but some people may not. Jackal Island meaning of Jackal Island. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and read. Y'all give me a moment as I pick this up, alright? Alright, let's get it. Can everybody see? We got them trapping off the phones, nigga. Both phones. Alright, the meeting of Jackal Island. Look at this. November 20th, 1910 to November 30th. So this meeting took 10 days. Hold on. Okay, cool, bet we good. Alright, the meeting took 10 days, right? Alright, so bam, a secret gathering at a secluded island off the coast of Georgia. How many of y'all down in Georgia? Georgia got so much goddamn history. So let's keep going. The coast of Georgia in 1910 laid the foundations for the Federal Reserve System. Keep in mind, they don't say the United States do it, y'all. How many did y'all know that the United States has nothing to do? Well, now they do business with, but they're not owned by the same people as the Federal Reserve System. Did y'all know down there in Georgia? All right, so let's keep reading. So it says, in November 1910, six men, not a fucking nation, six motherfucking men. 6 men named Nelson Aldrich, A. Pyatt, Andrew, Henry Davidson, Arthur Shelton, Frank Vanderlip, and Paul Warburg met at the Jackal Island Club off the coast of Georgia to write a plan to reform the nation's banking system. Goddamn, 6 guys. Y'all must be some powerful motherfuckers. Who are y'all? Who are y'all to introduce something so powerful? It says the meeting and its purpose was closely guarded. Secrets and participants did not admit that the meeting occurred until 1930. But the plans written on Jackal Island laid foundations for what eventually would be the Federal Reserve System. Okay, again, guys, 6 people, 6 men. Again, we don't gotta fake the funk. We sure there was white guys. This is not a race war, but I'm sure all the money in my bank account, each one of these guys are white. I'd be very intrigued if any of these guys had any melanin in them. Okay, all right. So you had six guys, allegedly white guys. Okay, I don't know if they was white or not. You have 6 allegedly white guys creating a goddamn banking system for a whole nation that will eventually adopt the Federal Reserve System. Let's keep reading. For y'all that did y'all homework. All right, so 1930. Wait a minute. Before we leave Jackal Island, let's ask Google this. Let's ask Google this right quick, cause all this shit is Googleable. All this, who owns Jackal Island, goddamn. And I don't know how to spell it. I think it's Jackal. Who owns Jackal Island? Okay, they say it's probably owned. Okay, I'm just gonna type in. I already know who owned it, but I'm just gonna type in who owned it at the time of the meeting. All right. So look at this, y'all. Look at this. This is Googleable. In 1866, remember the fucking timeline. 1886, the meeting was when? 1910. In 1886, the island was purchased by the Jackal Island Club, a turn-of-the-century vacation resort patronized by the nation's leading families. Club members include such prominent J.P. fucking Morgan, Joseph Pulitzer, whatever the fucking name is, William K. Vanderbilt, Marshall Field, and William Rockefeller. Hold on now. So you mean to tell me these guys own the bank, not the bank, but own the land that the other 6 white guys had the meeting on that introduced the federal banking system to the United States? Man, they say don't worry about the history. Y'all tripping. You ain't gonna know what process you doing if you don't know the history of nothing. Yes, the major banks, exactly. But y'all, it's gonna get so deep. Please stay with me, y'all. Please stay, because this live may not get to stay up. All right, this live may not get to stay up. Hold on right quick. I gotta light my blood on this one. This live may not stay. We gonna get kind of deep today, y'all. We gonna call this goddamn me University. Alright, so y'all can't see my password now. Hold on now. Y'all trying to cheat, trying to see my password and shit. Alright, so bam. You got J.P. Morgan, Vanderbilt, Rockefeller. These are all the people that own the land that had the damn meeting on it. You know what I'm saying? So bam, let's get it. Let's keep going. One moment. Let me pull up some old shit. Let's pull up some old shit. Hold on right quick. Y'all go ahead and pull up the Emergency Banking Act of 1933. Okay, let's get it. Let's get it. So bam, we looking at the Emergency Banking Act of 1933, y'all. Look at the date. Remember the meeting that they had on Jackal Island, right? That they had on Jackal Island. The meeting that they had on Jackal Island was on 1910. They didn't let nobody fucking know about the shit until 1930. You mean tell me 3 years later, in comes the Emergency Banking Act? Let's read. Signed by President Franklin D. Roosevelt. Look at me, I'm talking about Federal D. Roosevelt. Franklin D. Roosevelt. On March 9th, 1933, the legislation was aimed at restoring public confidence in the nation's financial system after a week-long bank holiday. I'm going to skip through that. I'm just going to read it right here. It says, immediately after his inauguration in March 1933, President Franklin Roosevelt set out to rebuild confidence in the nation's banking system, because y'all know we didn't trust the banks in 1930. We didn't trust the banks in 1930. You feel me? What I'm saying? So they was trying to figure out how can we gain the people's trust back. You feel me? So bam, set out to rebuild confidence in the nation's banking system. At the time, the Great Depression was crippling the U.S. economy. Many people were withdrawing their monies from the bank and keeping it at home, making that mattress they banks. Go ask your grandma what she did with her money back in the day. It says, in response to the new president called a special session of Congress the day after the inauguration and declared a 4-day banking holiday that shut down the banking system, including the Federal Reserve. This action was followed a few days later by the passage of the Emergency Banking Act, which is intended to restore Americans. Did that say corporations? No, it says Americans' confidence in banks when they reopen. Okay, so again, they basically adopted the Federal Reserve System when all this happened, y'all. Okay, we lost faith in their ass. We didn't have no faith in the banking system. All right, so do y'all know about the FDIC? Do anybody know what the FDIC means? Okay, so look, FDIC. Y'all got bank accounts? I hope so. When you got a bank account, do you ever see that FDIC regulated somewhere? All right, this is what it is. All right, Federal Depository Insurance Corporation, meaning every bank is basically under the FDIC. When was the FDIC created? What do you know? 1933. What do you fucking know? 1933. You mean tell me all this shit happened at one time? Now, great answer, K.L. Moore. L, it is 250,000 now, but let's see how much. Let's see how much. Let me flip this thing over. Let's see how much it is now. Well, it was when it first opened. So the question will be, how much did FDIC insure in 1933? All right, bam, let's get it. How much did FDIC insure in 1933? They only insured $2,500 fucking dollars. $2,500 in the 1933 Act, but was increased to $5,000 effective June 30th, 1934. All right, this limit remained in effect until 1950 when it was increased to $10,000. Yada yada yada. 1974 was $40,000. Today is $250,000. It comes right today. They are insured for $250,000. Not them. You are insured for $250,000. Okay, every single account is insured with FDIC. All right, if they say they're not insured, let them know they must be doing illegal business, because there ain't no damn way they're not under FDIC. Every bank is under FDIC, Federal Depository Insurance Act. All right, so today is $250,000. Now let me ask y'all a question, y'all. From 1933, they was only insured $2,500. Today they are insured $250,000. Why has it went up? What the fuck did they do to get a $2,500 flip all the way to $250,000? Can somebody answer that question? May somebody answer that question? What do we do? Huh? What did they do? What did they do to get? What kind of, y'all know what kind of flip that is? From 1933, they was only getting you $2,500. Now you're getting $250,000. What have y'all been using? What y'all done did differently? Because clearly y'all ain't missed no meals. They not missing no meals. If they getting money, why aren't we getting money? If the banks is getting money, why aren't we getting? We gotta ask these questions, y'all. These are free questions. We gotta ask these questions. These are free questions. They didn't take our shit. Nobody took nothing. We gotta stop trying to blame. Nobody took nothing. Nobody took nothing. We gonna continue on the. I just had like my blunt just now, but we gonna continue on the journey. But it's $250,000 right now. All right. So keep that in mind. It's 250,000. Clearly, the asset that they're using is gaining interest, right? Clearly, the assets they're using is gaining interest, right? What is the assets they're using? Y'all think we going off life when they was still doing shit as collateral? Oh, put your watch up. Man, our collateral is the account. This the application, y'all. The application is the asset. You see what I'm saying? Yes, exactly. They trade on the market. They've been gaining interest. Who pays interest? The banks. But we ain't here for that. Let me just tell y'all, keep going on it. Let me keep going on it. All right, so 1933. Keep the dates going, y'all. Keep the dates. When did socials? When did socials start? Look at this. When did socials start? 1935. 2 years after the Emergency Banking Act. So do you think your social has anything to do with what happened to the Banking Act? I think it does. I think it does. I think it does. Me to tell me they had a 1933 Banking Act, meaning helping the banks, which FDIC came about. Then 2 years later, 3 years later, Social Securities came out. God damn. God damn. The 1930s was jumping. 1930s was jumping. If you knew what was going on. Granted, culturally, everybody wasn't going through the same shit. It says which president messed up Social Security. What the hell? Richard Nixon that did. We ain't gonna go there, but yeah. All right, so Social started in 1936, right? All right. So when were the first consumer rights? When? They're gonna answer a better question. Consumer Law Bill. When were the first consumer rights? Damn, hold on. What were the first consumer rights? All right, so bam. Now keep in mind the dates, y'all. Remember the dates. How many original consumer rights were there? All right, there were 5 consumer rights, y'all. Your four basic consumer rights in 1962. Goddamn, literally 30 years later. 30 fucking years later, y'all. You gotta peep what's going on. So you mean tell me in 1890, Equifax was reporting credit and shit. No credit score. 1910, they had a meeting on Jekyll Island that was owned by J.P. Morgan and the Rockefellers. All right. 30 years later, 1933 came about. They introduced that they had the meeting. 3 years later, 1933, the Emergency Banking Act happened. Okay. 2 years later, the FDIC happened. A year later, the socials dropped. You mean to tell me 30 years later, we didn't get no consumer rights? So meaning from 1930 to 1960, I really wonder what the economy was looking like, y'all. For Congress to come up and say, God damn it, we got to make some consumer bill of rights. The Great Depression, exactly. Y'all know how many folks was broke in the 40s and 50s? You know why? Because they didn't know no consumer rights. We didn't have none. They just dropped that Banking Act, gave the banks power, and the banks started going nuts. Banks started taking everybody's shit. Congress was like, God damn, we about to go right back into a motherfucking recession. What the fuck going on? Alright, so bam, 4 basic. Your 4 basic was in 1962, President John F. Kennedy outlined what he called the Consumer Bill of Rights. The bill stated that every person has 4 basic consumer rights: the right to be informed, the right to choose, the right to safety, and the right to be heard. How many of y'all are sending shit and you're not being heard? That's a violation of your consumer rights. How many of y'all are feeling like you're in a contract where you're not safe? Meaning your rights are being damaged. Your rights are being stepped on. This is not safety. I feel like I'm being attacked right now. You're not accepting my bill of exchange. This is a fucking violation, goddamn it. But anyway, all right, President J.F. Kennedy. All right, he dropped this in 1962, y'all. Remember that date. Remember that date. All right, remember that date. Hold on. Remember that date. Remember that date. Y'all, anybody know when President Kennedy got killed? Y'all know when he got killed? Don't worry about it. It's Googleable. Let's Google it. When did Kennedy get assassinated? Damn, 1963. Sheesh. You mean to tell me this man woke up one day, dropped the consumer laws to protect consumers? You mean to tell me a year later they knocked them off? Who y'all think knocked them off? We're not gonna say it. You can just put it in the comments. You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna say it. We're gonna put it in the comments. You mean to tell me he got hit a year later? He got hit a year later? Probably not even a year later. Let's go back a little bit. I don't even think it's a year later. When he dropped this in March, I think he dropped it before basic in March. Damn, where this shit at? Yeah, I don't know when he dropped it, but your man's got knocked off a year later, y'all. Your man's got knocked off. Good shit, Scar 702. I ain't said, you said. All right, the man's got knocked off. You feel what I'm saying? So you mean to tell me he dropped a consumer bill that protect consumers? Who did those consumer rights, who would those rights affect? If they help consumers, who would they affect? Because clearly somebody was getting off for 30 years. Somebody was eating for 30 years. They didn't miss no meals. Somebody didn't miss no meals for 30 years until he dropped that law. Wham Pam, 1963. But let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Anybody familiar with truth in lending? Anybody familiar with truth in lending? Let's say, when did the Truth in Lending Act? When was it? Truth in Lending. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. It says Truth in Lending Act. TILA. What is the Truth in Lending Act? It says the Truth in Lending Act is a federal law enacted in 1968. Remember that date? To help protect consumers in their dealings with lenders and creditors. The TILA was implemented by the Federal Reserve Board. Oh, there go them folks again. Through a series of regulations. Some of the most important aspects of the act concerns the information that must be disclosed to a borrower before extending credit, such as the annual percentage APR, the term of the loan, and the total cost to borrower. This information must be conspicuous on documents presented to the borrower before signing, in some cases, periodic billing statements. All right, so again, TILA was dropped in 1968. All y'all are, all of us are under TILA. Every time you give somebody your social security card, you are operating under TILA. Okay, so do y'all know who died in 1968? Let's look. Who died in 1968? Who died in 1968? All you gotta do is piece it together, y'all. Who died in 1968? Who died in my who died in 1968? Come on, man. We just piecing things together. Do y'all think shit is coincidences? You know, folks out here that say shit like, well, you know everything. Man, shut the fuck up. Shut your bum ass up. Go watch P-Valley, nigga. Do y'all think this is a coincidence? Weed got me connecting everything. I'm like Inspector Weed Gadget. Over here, goddamn, detaching these clues. After I started endorsing bills, I'm like, man, I want to know some more shit. Like, this shit is fun. You feel me? Like, man, I'm trying to tell y'all, man, nothing is for nothing. Everything is for reasoning. Everything's for reasoning. So, alright, let's look at this. When did Fair Credit Reporting Act come out? Alright, so y'all remember MLK died in 1968. Look when the Fair Credit Reporting Act dropped, 1970. 2 years after the Truth in Lending. So let me piece it together for you. For y'all that don't piece it together yet, let me piece it together. So 1890, Equifax is reporting credits on the rumors, asking people, hey, do Johnson pay his bills? Do Johnson owe you any money? And if everybody in the town say you owe some money, they're going to deny you the loan. Okay, that's how they did loans back in the day. All right, it was off of rumors. All right, so, bam. I didn't know MLK met JFK. That's crazy. But yeah, so 1890, you have the Equifax credit agencies, right? And all the way up to 1910, well, my bad, because J.P. Morgan purchased Jekyll Island in 1890, I believe. 1890. So we're just going over the history, the timeline. So 1890, Equifax was reporting credit. No credit scores, just reporting credit. All right. 2 years prior of that, and back in the 1890s, you had J.P. Morgan and the Rockefellers purchased island called Jekyll Island. Okay, it was the meeting. Hold on, you can't see my password. All right, it was a meeting that basically created the Federal Reserve System, right? The Federal Reserve System was established by 6 guys on an island that came together and basically created a blueprint to get America into a better economic situation, because all the banks we was losing faith in the banks, so they basically had to bring something to basically counteract what was going on. Basically bring a solution. All right, so since they brought a solution in 1910, they didn't tell nobody about the damn meeting until 1930. So these motherfuckers didn't tell nobody about the meeting until 1930. In 1930, 3 years later, in came the Emergency Banking Act of 1933. 1933 basically protected the banks, basically insured them, basically tried to build confidence into the people. Okay, did y'all know during that time they basically collected all the gold and silver? Okay, it was illegal to hold gold and silver after that. After they released the 1936 socials, because socials didn't drop until 1936, the limited banking scheme, exactly. So they didn't drop socials until 1936. Okay, after that, no one was supposed to be holding gold. Okay, so for everybody that's saying go get gold, it doesn't fucking matter. They have basically removed the gold and silver. Look it up. Go look it up. They brung it back in, but they took it out in the 70s. They don't even go by gold and silver no more. So what are they going by? The assets. Our birth assets, family. Like, yo, that's what's going on. But anyway, all right, so 1936, you had your socials. They gave us a social security card. All right, all the way, so we didn't hear nothing until 1962. 1962, Kennedy was like, God damn it, we got to protect these consumers. They getting their house took, they getting their cars took by these banks. These banks having a fucking field day. And they insured? Oh, hell no. We got to drop your 4 basic consumer rights. So 62, he dropped those shits, right? A year later, these motherfuckers knocked his ass off. All right, knocked his ass off. All right, 6 years later, you come in 1968, in comes the Truth in Lending Act. Basically slaps the banks on the wrist again. Basically, now the banks have to be truthful when they disclose when they're lending, quote unquote. Okay, guess who got knocked off in 68? Motherfucking Martin Luther King. Wham bam. So he gets knocked off in 68. All right, so we not caring about what the fuck Congress is passing. Martin Luther King just died. We are crying. We on the news, watching the news. We talking about Martin Luther King, we're not hearing about no Tiller. What the fuck is Tiller? What the fuck is Tiller in the 1968 when you got Martin Luther King just got knocked off? You see what I'm saying? So you got to look at it. Martin Luther King get knocked off 68. 1970 incomes fair credit reporting. Why was Fair Credit Reporting Act dropped? Let's see. You're gonna read the first part of it. Ain't gonna read all of it. What is the Fair Credit Reporting Act? FCRA. The Fair Credit Reporting Act is a federal law that regulates the collection of consumer credit information and access to their credit reports. It was passed in 1970 to address the fairness, accuracy, and privacy of the personal information contained in the files of the credit reporting agency. Now, hold on, y'all. Now, y'all do remember when we looked up. Let me see if we can go back all the way back. Hold on, we gotta go all the way back to the very first thing we looked at. We gotta look back at the very first thing. Hold on. This is ghetto class right now. When was the first credit agency? Hold on right quick, family. I'm trying to go back to that screen it was talking about. But anyway. Basically they was talking about in 1890, basically they generated credit by basically rumors. So they didn't come around into a fucking consumer act, basic credit reporting act, until 1970, y'all. Do y'all not see how long it took them to help? It took them almost 100 years. 100 years. It took these people 100 years to make a Fair Credit Reporting Act, y'all. The first credit score didn't come into 1954. 1954 was the first FICO score. Okay? So you got to ask yourself, what the hell were we doing before then? All right, you got to do is ask yourself, what was you doing before then? So, anyways, looking at the timeline. All right, so Congress already slapped banks on the wrist in 1968. All right, Congress already slapped the credit agencies on the wrist in 1970. All right, so what was passed in 19? So now it's the Fair Debt Collection Practice Act. Alright, so man, let me read this. So, alright, so Fair Debt Collection Practice Act. The Fair Debt Collection Practice Act, blank. Wait, let me blank. Hold on. Let's go read what it means. Let me just get hold on, family. I'm just gonna say what. Fair Debt Collection Practice Act. All right, bam. So, boom. The Fair Debt Collection Practice Act, FDCPA, is the main federal law that governs debt collection practices. The FDCPA prohibits debt collection companies from using abusive, unfair, or deceptive practices to collect debts. So, again, y'all, they dropped this in 1977. So, 1970, the Fair Credit Reporting Act was dropped, basically slapping the credit consumer reporting agencies on the wrist. 1977, they were slapping the fucking banks on the wrist again, because the banks is the one that collects debts. So, you mean to tell me you had credit agencies and banks working in cahoots with each other? I'm talking about they've been eating with, man, we ain't never seen nothing like it since Shaq and Kobe. Rest in peace to Kobe. Man, they've been tag teaming, y'all. They've been eating. Banks and consumer agencies have been eating. They've been eating. They've been eating, y'all. Okay, it's only RICO if you go and try to claim it and they say no. You feel me? It ain't RICO until you go and try to claim it. So, no, they're not doing anything wrong, y'all. It's us that's not doing right. We have all the laws to go claim our shit. But we rather sit back and just say, oh man, they some snakes. Oh damn, they ain't shit. Oh man, they ain't. The fact 6 guys was able to, you feel me, piece this together and all we gotta do is read something. I don't even blame them. I blame us. This shit is right here. We just did a whole course in fucking 10 minutes. We just did a whole course in 10 minutes. You just pieced together so much shit that so many other people can't piece together. Just ask somebody, when was the first credit report established? Why was the Emergency Banking Act established? Nobody can ever tell you why. They just tell you to do. That's why I tell folks, stop buying my class and just going and doing. You're going to fail. You got to understand how to piece this shit together. You don't just buy something, just do it. You piece it together. So if I'm in court, I'm piecing all this together. I can explain why I'm able to use my credit card. I can explain why the banks don't have money. I can explain why the banks went broke. I can explain why you can't call my phone asking for a debt. I can explain why you can't tell me you're about to come repo my car and that's a violation. That's easy. It's easy. You got to, man, you got to know what's going on. 6 guys. We're not talking about a heap of people. We're talking about 6 guys. I mean, so if you can do that with 6 people, imagine what you can do. If they was able to go off to Georgia. Go off to Georgia. If you ain't been to Georgia, go down to Georgia. Okay? They was able to go off to an island, have a meeting for 10 days. Okay? Not say nothing for 20 years. Introduce that to the United States. United States stamp off on it. And today, we still use Federal Reserve notes. 6 guys made that happen. You may look at it like, that is, oh my God, I'm inspired by that shit. You may look down on it. I'm inspired. I'm inspired like hell. Like, you mean to tell me y'all riches, I don't matter how rich you are. You mean to tell me y'all got together and y'all created a system for a nation. If this ain't America, land of the free, I don't know what is. We talk about 6 regular people. Granted, they was probably rich beyond measures, probably made a lot of money off the slave trade. You feel me? Alright, we don't got to go into that. It's obvious. Okay, it's obvious. But the fact that they came together, put their money together, and came together as a collective and introduced something so powerful that we use almost 100 years later. Y'all know how many people die over Federal Reserve notes? Man, y'all got to see what's going on. Man, I'm inspired. You can't deceive people that read. I'm inspired. Y'all can say what y'all say. You can't deceive people that read. We the ones that don't read. We the ones that watch P-Valley. We the ones that watch TNT. We the one that watch ESPN. We the one that watch BET shows. We the one that watch Grammys. And we the one that follows this information. I just had a class in 5 minutes. This shit was Googleable. You know how many people pay for that information? This shit is Googleable. I'm inspired. If you ain't inspired by that, you don't know what greatness is. Again, you gotta take some self-accountability. I don't blame nobody. I don't blame the banks. Wouldn't be able to do what they would do if motherfuckers just read. Bravo, goddamn. It's one impressive ass method, goddamn. It was one impressive method they got going on. I'm impressed. I'm impressed. I love basketball too. I love seeing somebody get dunked on. I love that shit. But at the end of the day, it's more impressive shit out there. Clearly, 6 guys can get together on the beach and create a plan a whole nation will adopt. You think they worried about how high a nigga can jump? You worried about how much they think a nigga can throw, how fast a nigga can run. People really think they on this earth to run and jump. We really got people that think they're on this earth to dribble a basketball and say, I'm using my influence to change the world. Are you changing the world, or are you just showing kids how to dunk? What are you changing? What are you changing? What the fuck are we? And I'm a big basketball advocate. You feel me? I'm a wet. You can't tell me no nothing. But for real, like, I gotta look at it from a billionaire's perspective. I don't give a damn how hard he dunks a basket. Where's his assets at? Like, is he trying to go in business or something? Like, what is he trying to create something that a nation gonna adopt? I don't give a fuck about him windmilling. I don't give a fuck how many bars he dropped in 16 minutes. I don't give a. My kids care. I just booked them for my kids. I don't even know who this is. Who? You say he got how many? What? Yeah, I think my daughter likes them. Book them. Man, they don't even be in the room when these motherfuckers come. Just ask them. Ask them. Ask any high-end artist that got booked by a billionaire. The billionaire ain't in the room. The kid in the room. Like, you there for the kid, because the kid is young, so it's on social media. The dad's off doing amazing shits. You feel me? Like, they over there piecing together. And I know it's not a lot of them. That's why I'm starting to learn the less is more. I remember Jay-Z said that. The less is more. The less people you got in your group, the more. You can do more. You can do more. If you got 50 niggas around you, you a bum. And you're weak. And you can meet me in the back alley with your 50 guys. Y'all probably whoop my ass. That don't change the fact you still weak, okay? It don't change the fact. Alright, you're still weak. Alright, a lot of folks taking stripes for weak shit. Like, you weak. You weak. 6 guys got together. Man, that's about to be my introduction, man. You want to be great? Research these people right here. 6 guys got together and changed the fucking world. You mean to tell me you can't get 7 homeboys together and create greatness? Y'all sitting around talking about how fat her ass is. Man, get me from around this bum activity. You got 6 white guys, and the first thing my people tell me is, well, you know white folks got a head start. You know they got a head start. Man, okay, when you gonna start? Okay, we know the head start is happening. Okay, let's get past that. When are you gonna start? Cause I ain't seen you start yet. You been saying the same thing them niggas in the 60s was saying. You said the same thing them niggas in the 10s was saying. You saying the same shit. You know what you telling your kids the same shit. Your kid gonna get older because you ain't taught him nothing. He ain't gonna learn nothing. He gonna be saying the same shit his kid. You know you gotta watch out for. You know the white folks gonna. You know the white folks know this shit. They don't really teach us that shit. Man, you know how many white folks I had in my class that don't know this shit? What are you talking about? Fuck you talking about? When did we start? all this. When the fuck are we starting? Like, goddamn. They be asking, brother, are you for the people or not? Yes, I'm for the people. But shit, my people, white, black, blue, purple, green. If you read, you my people. I can't be stuck with non-readers, bro. I'm sorry. I gotta put my cape. I gotta put that cape down. I can't do it no more, man. I gotta rock with Kanye when he said, I gotta give up that victim mentality. I'm not facing the KKK. The KKK ain't at my door saying, nigga, you better not read. They not putting shells in my mouth saying, nigga, we heard you out here teaching. They not doing that. As you can see, I am using my free will to speech. I'm not promoting anything illegal. All this is Googleable information. What are we scared of? First thing they say, well, you know too much, they gonna knock you off. Well, goddamn, you don't know enough, and you scared to know too much. Like, God, it's a lose-lose. It's a lose-lose. Man, it's a lose-lose. Man, so if you see me around a whole bunch of monks, you know what's up. You see me around a whole bunch of bald head monks. You know what's up. Don't say I gave up on the people. I am still for the people. But if you see me around short, bald head monks, and respect to all the monks, okay? If you see me around them, just know it's for value. I gotta be around value. I gotta be around valuable people. You see what I'm saying? I'm tired of hearing that victim mentality. You see what I'm saying? Nobody stopped me from goddamn reading. You see what I'm saying? Nobody stopped me from doing that. As you can see, we can have a class in 5 minutes, y'all. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. And if you still believe in conspiracies, I bet my dollar you watch P-Valley. And shout out to the creator P-Valley. You might want to sign up for one of my classes, shit like that. No offense. But I don't want no woman watching P-Valley, you feel me? No offense, brother. No offense to the brother that created it. I heard it's an amazing show. But I don't want to be around any folks that's indulging that daily, okay? I can't do it. I can't do it. My mind is on trying to build something that a nation will adopt. We cannot piece together like these. Y'all, I be in this motherfucker mind blown like these motherfuckers got together and created a fucking blueprint. It's not even about the money. I'm sure they had some stain or some shit, you feel me? But, man, y'all, come on. It's about the knowing. If it's like they came together, spent 10 days together. I'm sure they argued, you feel me, had disagreements. I'm sure they had girls sent out to the island, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to be around 6 dudes for 10 days, you feel me? We got to get some girls sent in. And we respect women, okay, for y'all, for all the women that be saying you need to okay, we respect women. We gonna, of course, they want to come if they want. We're not forcing no one to do anything. So I'm sure they had women pull up on the boat. You feel me? You know, this was back in 1910. Nah, they probably had jets back then. They flying women in to the Jackal Island. 6 of them chilling. You feel me? Bossed up because they done got money off the slave trade. They bossed up, cheering the finest wines and shit. Action. What should we do today? What should we do today? We done did everything imaginable. I know. Let's come together and create something the United States is. They're going broke. They're asking us for money. Okay, let's come together, create something for the United States to adopt. Because you got to remember, the United States is only here because of the people. So this method is really for the American people, but the United States needs us to help the people. That's why the people think the Federal Reserve notes is the United States when it ain't. And all debts is paid by the United States, meaning every dollar you pay using the Federal Reserve notes is paid by the United States. The United States took upon that deal. They took all obligations when that contract was signed. 1933. Alright, so we got a minute left. They're giving us a time. Make sure y'all share this live. I don't know how long it's going to be up. Make sure you spread the word. They done flew in some Georgia peaches. They flew in the thickest, fresh, free slaves. They done flew them in. You know they flew in melanated ones. They flew in some thick Georgia peaches straight off the plantation. Whoo! They was like, I just flew 10 in. I bet your 10 isn't better than my 10. I'm going to show you my 10 best. They flowing in. What? The best in-house slaves you ever seen. What? Y'all will smash them right now if you seen them. Trying to tell you. They got out the rags and they put them in royal garments. You wouldn't even know they was a slave. You know the slave master dress them up good. You feel me? I don't want you smelling like outside. Go clean your goddamn self up. Go put on them expensive robes and shit I got. Y'all done got me all this bag for years. Go use this money and go get good. Meet me in Jackal Island. I'ma send for you. And you get your sister, your mama. Now keep your mama because her feet bad. You bring your sister, bring your auntie, bring everybody. I got y'all. Y'all 10 days on me. You ain't got to work. You get a 10-day vacation. All right, y'all, I'm out. I'm going to go ahead and do a part 2. I ain't going to keep it long. Y'all make sure y'all share this shit. They may take it down. Yeah, we out.